Hi everyone, Stephen from Futurelooks, and today we are going to be unboxing a motherboard from GIGABYTE. This is the GIGABYTE 890FXA-UD5, which is one of their AMD 890FX based boards. Like many of GIGABYTE's boards, this particular board is an ultra durable 3 board. It has the 2-ounce copper, the solid Japanese capacitors, and the ferrite cores. And of course, it's an AM3 CPU socket, which supports most AM2 Plus CPUs if you're going to be using this as a platform upgrade, interim platform upgrade, or you can head straight to any of AMD's new 6-core processors with this. It even supports core unlocking, so if you're one of the lucky ones that picked up a cheap X2 processor, you too can benefit from having an extra 2 cores show up if you have the right stepping, right series of core. Moving through the GIGABYTE buzzwords, we've got their on-off charge here, which is basically related to their 333 onboard acceleration. The first 3 being USB 3, the second being 3 times power, which allows the on-off charge to work because it's actually supplying more power than a regular USB port, allowing you to charge devices like the iPad, which actually requires a lot more power than a normal USB device. And the third 3, which is of course the SATA 3, which is better known as SATA 6 gigabit per second, that completes the trifecta, if you will, of the 333 onboard acceleration. Features that are returning are the green power technology, which is basically GIGABYTE's way of throttling down power consumption on their boards, turning off components that are not needed. There is also the eSATA USB combo ports, which are very handy if you run out of USB ports. And 2 other features that you'll want to know about are the dual smart LAN. Yes, this board does have dual Ethernet, so you can use it for either A, failover redundancy, or B, you can team them up to give you double the bandwidth. And finally, you've got dual BIOS. This helps you recover from a really bad overclock if it screws up your BIOS. Now that we've got the GIGABYTE buzzwords out of the way, let's open up the box and see what we get. Inside the box of the 890FXA-UD5, you'll get a packet of cables. You'll get 2 sets of SATA cables. One set actually has the 90-degree connector, so you get 2 of those, and one set has the regular straight-through connector, so you get 2 of those. Both sets of cables have the little metal latch that allows the SATA cables to sit into their ports snugly without popping out. And of course, you get one single IDE cable. You get the I/O panel, pretty standard. Your AMD 8 series GIGABYTE utility CD. Documentation such as the main manual. You'll also be getting a multilingual installation guidebook, and this is just a very basic book for you to get going quickly. It doesn't have the depth or the breadth of the of this particular manual here, but it does get you started very quickly. So inside the electrostatic bag here, you get the 890FXA-UD5 board in all its glory. This is one of GIGABYTE's 890FX boards. The other one being the UD7 again, which is its bigger brother. This is a standard ATX layout versus the XL ATX layout in the UD7, which is something that's quite rare. It's also very rare to be able to find a case that fits that. So this one will fit in more cases than the UD7. The main difference between the two is basically, of course, the UD7 supports triple crossfire, quad crossfire. This one does not do that. This one only supports dual crossfire. The other thing that you'll notice is that the heatsink design on this particular one is actually a lot less aggressive than the UD7. On the bottom here, you'll see the header for the USB on-off charge. And this is what allows the front panel ports on your motherboard to give you the ability to charge whether the device, the system is on or off. And there's a driver that you need to install. 4 PCI Express slots, 2 of which are 8X and 2 of which are 16X. And because this is an 890FX board, if you populate both of those slots, they will still be 16X, which is good for crossfire performance. This is, of course, a dual channel DDR3 board. So you can see here there are 4 slots with a combined memory support up to 16 gigabytes officially. We have tested that and it does work. So good for Gigabyte for making that happen. You get 6 SATA 3 ports and 2 of Gigabyte's own chipset base. Beside that, you'll get this clear CMOS button, which is right there. It's just a button that allows you to easily reset the board in case you have a bad overclock. Right around the same area here, oh, there it is. There's the dual BIOS. You actually have 2 BIOS chips soldered to the board. So what happens is that if you have a really bad overclock and you need to restore the BIOS, it gets corrupted, the original BIOS chip will actually flash the first BIOS chip, giving you the ability to boot back into your system. The reset button and the power button, and there is a floppy connector here, as well as a IDE connector, fan header, and of course your regular 24-pin motherboard power connector from your power supply. In the middle here is your AM3 socket. These are your I/O ports here, and you've got your 7.1 channel inputs here. This is based on a Realtek audio codec, and here you've got 2 USB 3.0 ports and your dual gigabit ports right here. And then of course the rest of these ports are, there's 2 USB 2.0, and these ones are actually down here are actually eSATA / USB 3.0 combo ports. This is a good way to save space while maintaining a lot of functionality. And just in case we glanced over it, because I don't think anyone uses FireWire anymore, there's also a 4-pin and a 6-pin FireWire port above the eSATA USB combo ports on the bottom. You'll see the SPDIF out as well as the optical out right here. And of course you've got your standard PS2 keyboard or mouse input if you still use a PS2 mouse, and above it are 2 other USB ports where you can plug in your USB keyboard or mouse, of course. So overall, the Gigabyte 890FXA-UD5 is a pretty well laid out board. It's definitely a lot easier to install than the top-end UD7, mainly because it is a standard ATX form factor versus the XL ATX form factor that's on the UD7. But it doesn't give up a lot of performance because it's still using the 890FX chipset from AMD. It's still got the 6 gigabit per second SATA 3 ports. You have 2 lanes that are full 16x PCI Express. MSRP for the 890FXA-UD5 is $179.99. That's actually a substantial savings over the 890FXA-UD7, which retails for $245.99. If you don't need quad or triple crossfire, this is definitely the board to have because it has a lot of the same features at a much lower price. Also comes with the same 3-year warranty, and that's the 890FXA-UD5 unboxed for you in a nutshell. And of course, if you like what we're doing on our YouTube channel here, make sure you subscribe so that we can do more of these unboxings and overviews that we love to do. Again, my name is Steven, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you again.